Welcome, everybody, to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest-running sales training podcast in the history of all podcasts. I'm one of your hosts, Bryan Neal.
I'm the other, Bill Caskey.
We are here every week. If you're new, welcome to the show. What took you so long? We've been here for 19 years waiting for you. We're glad you found us. We've got a lot of episodes to binge, about 1,100-ish.
We got
a lot of drive time to catch up to where we are, because they're all in sequential order. Each episode builds on itself. So you need episode.
Don't start with tomorrow's. You don't start with that.
No, we're kidding. And those of you who've been around the whole time, I bet we've got some listeners. I'd be interested to see who's been with us from the very beginning. I bet there's some out there. We're so thankful for you. Check us out on LinkedIn. We've got first of all, connect with me and Bill, with Bill and me. I'll say that more properly. On LinkedIn, just personally. We both run our own LinkedIn accounts.
It's a good pickup, Mr. IU, Mr. Public School.
That was cool. I like it. I do love grammar. And then Bill runs a great program called the ASP Advanced Selling Podcast Insider. That's a live coaching session. Many of you heard of us talk of this, and you're not a member. What are you waiting for? What a great way to start 2026. Join the Insider program and be live with some people. The other thing that's cool about that, it's like a group of people that support each other. I was just with a member last week, and he said there are people, like there's 4 people in Insider. They're from all over the world, and they all physically got together one time.
Yeah,
I heard that. They arranged their schedules and stuff. I was amazed by that. That's really cool.
Yeah, in December, we're going to be doing 2026 business planning. So if that's on your agenda, make sure you go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider, join, and then you'll get an invitation to December 6th or 7th. Don't hold me on the date, the Insider business session. Have you ever found, Bryan, that you have a sophomore or freshman in high school sense of humor that sometimes finds its way out?
Never. Not only every.
No, you don't strike me as somebody.
I have a text trail that goes basically all day with 8 of my friends that 6 of us have known each other since we were 10. And it literally, I just opened it up to look, and the last text was at 9:14 last night. And it's great because, of course, we're talking about one of our friends getting his knee replaced. And you'd think, be like, hey, man, good luck. Prayers for you, buddy.
No.
Like, no, that's too, no, we got to turn that into something else. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, don't tell me.
It's just funny.
But and sometimes even when you don't vocalize what you're thinking, I had a situation where a family member has moved a lot and is not around much, and sometimes just comes into the picture because he's back for Thanksgiving or whatever, and all the nieces and nephews aren't quite sure who is this now, and what relation is he? Well, he's a brother of. Okay, well, where has he been? Well, and I thought, instead of always saying, well, he's a rambling man, say, have a story. Have like a story of him. He's a seafaring man. He's a rambling man. He's shark fight. He's catching sharks in the middle of the Pacific, and he goes out for these long shark hunts, and then he comes back and he gathers the kids around. He tells stories about that. And I was telling my wife about my brainstorm on that. My daughter, Kara, thought it was really funny. She goes, oh, I'd play along with that. That'd be funny. Yeah. My wife's like, what are you talking about? and it kept going. And I would just be walking around the house sometimes starting to laugh. She's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. Anyway,
if you ask any of these guys on this text trail, not all of them actually, but 4 of them, if you say, hey, doesn't Bryan have a famous cousin in the music business? They will literally start like peeing their pants laughing. My mom's cousin was an up-and-coming artist and was on an MTV show called Basement Tapes. Tapes. It's when they're trying to promote, up-and-coming people.
Yeah.
His albums got really famous in the Philippines, and they were trying to make him big here, and he didn't. And I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, my cousin's going to be on MTV, and they made so much fun of me. There's a picture of him hanging out. It's called Violent Winds. I'll send it to you. It's still up there. Basement Tapes. It just doesn't matter. It's just such a, nothing is serious.
That's right. Nothing is sacred.
Nothing is sacred. They can go, I'm really happy for you and your family.
No.
Yeah. And then they'll all make fun of him. Like he's hanging out of a helicopter with the voice of a violent wind. So stupid.
You got to have friends like that. You got to have people around you who know you that way, because most people don't. because you meet a CFO of a company, you're not going to have that conversation with them.
Right.
Just from the soulfulness of it, you just have to. Nothing can be serious, and it's hard to find people with sense of humors like that. Everybody's kind of on guard anyway. So, okay, let's talk about today's topic. Last week, if you listened to it, you heard us talk about macro skills. And the way this all came about, if you didn't hear it, is I was with a potential client and I said something to him and he said, "Stop right there. My people would never say that. My people would never do that. I want you to teach my people how to do that."
Yeah.
So it reminded me that even though Bryan and I teach a lot of macro skills, we can't neglect the micro, those things that are they're small, they're tactical, they're incremental, but they can make a huge difference in how you carry out your assignment and how you proceed and prospect and close. So that's the topic today.
I love that. And last time we came up with some, we thought, really good macro skills. Now we're going to get in the weeds, and this is my setup on this one. And we've really moved our work to a more of a macro skill based operating sort of thing. And one thing that I've made the mistake of is forgetting or not realizing that people don't know some of the micro stuff. Mm-hmm. I assume that everybody knows how to open up a sales conversation. I assume that everyone knows how to ask decent sales questions, and that is not a proper assumption. There are a lot of people who do not have any idea what to ask someone in a sales call. It's a point that gets a little glossed over sometimes, I think. And I'm glad we're talking about it today.
So I'll review one of my first micro skills here is the thing that happened to me. And here's what happened. He was talking, my prospect was talking about something. It was a Zoom call. And I didn't quite catch what he was saying or the relevance to what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, hang on a second, Robert. What tell me what you mean by that. And then that's when he said, well, my people don't do that. And we started talking about the skills, the micro skills that his people need. And so it was an obvious pivot into what he wanted for his people. But that skill of understanding and of being able to stop somebody if they've said something that's confusing, if you ask a question and they didn't answer the question, I think that's a skill for how do you really get the answer. So all these are really tactical, almost language-based skills, but you have to have the courage to stop someone and say, "Hey, I didn't catch that."
So good. So good. I'm trying to think of a clever thing to call. It's not the skill. It's the skill of clarifying or something like that. It's a clarification skill. It's like, how do I understand what someone is saying? And even just have the ability or the chutzpah to just jump in there and say it, say, wait a second, what, most people are afraid of that. So they don't say anything. And then they'll never know, and then they do something and personally, you didn't get it. You didn't get what I was saying.
Yeah. And sometimes when the I'll call him the customer is going on and on and on and on and on, and there's something you don't understand, you're a little bit reluctant because you think, oh, what path is this going to take us down? I mean, now I got another 30 minutes. So,
yeah, but
you could even start by saying, hey, well, hang on a second. You said something. Can you briefly explain that?
Yes.
Can you give me kind of the 30-second version of that? Put some time limits on it if they are one of these people that fatigues you by talking.
That's a great skill in its own. Mine is putting time parameters around everything.
Yeah.
So to say to someone, well, let's start just like, tell me a little bit about you. I'll tell me a little bit about myself, and then we'll go from there. Instead, let me give you 90 seconds on me. You can give me 90 seconds on you, and we'll roll on. That's a skill that people don't do.
That's a skill,
right? It is. And it's so easy. And it doesn't have to be like 90 seconds. You don't start a stopwatch.
Really?
You can, but you know what I mean? But it's just saying those words, put time frames on it.
So I would call those things that fall into the category of sales conduct. It's how am I conducting myself in the buyer-seller interaction or interactive conduct or something. Yeah. But I agree. It's like, if you're going to really master the art of persuasion, selling, offer making, whatever that is for you, communication is such a big part of that. And if you miss things they say, or you're not willing to clarify things that are confusing to you, and then before you know it, you're off on a path that's not exactly or not even close to where they want to go, it just wastes a lot of time. And closing rates are 15 to 20% generally.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of wasted effort. And you can reduce some of that by being a little bit more skilled here in the micro area. Okay. What else do you have, Bryan?
I have, this is one that my clients hear me harp on, and it's super tactical, which is what micro is all about.
Yep.
I think that the skill and the ability to only converse in numeric calendar values is a micro skill. So here's what I mean by only converse in numeric calendar values only is a skill. Here's what I mean by that. What a lot of people will do, micro skill, they get to the end of a good call. They go, this is great. So tell you what, let me put some stuff together, and how about I give you a call sometime into next week? And the customer's like, oh, that'd be great. We're really excited about this. Okay, sounds good. When is the end of next week? You see what I mean? It's very vague. It's very debatable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I say, and then let me give you a call on Tuesday, November 4th. Look at your calendar between 11 and 1. Find 15 minutes on Tuesday, November 4th. That's a skill. So anytime anybody even says to you, hey, why don't you give us a little time and then shoot us a call like maybe the week after Thanksgiving? You go, okay. I always teach my clients and try myself the week after Thanksgiving. So let's put a numeric calendar value. That's the week of December 1, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Let's look at the 3rd or the 4th. Now we're in numbers. Numeric calendar values always. And if your clients don't speak in numeric calendar values, because they won't, they'll speak in end of the month, first of the quarter kind of stuff. You convert it to a numeric calendar value that's undeniable. You know exactly what it is.
It's good for you too. It's good for them. It's good for you, and not just because you're going to serve them better, but we all need deadlines. We all need due by dates, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you can change them too. It's just, we're just looking for the clarity, the part that there's no debate when that is. There's no debate on when, Tuesday, November 4th, 11 a.m. to 11:30 Eastern time USS. There's no debate. No one can debate that.
And I'll bet it doesn't get changed that much. I bet when people have it 2 weeks out, and now if it gets changed and changed and changed, then maybe it's not all that meaningful to them. And that might tell you something too.
That tells you something else. So yeah. That's my
okay. Here's my number 2 and final one today. And there's hundreds of these. So, and maybe we can come back if you guys want. Go to our LinkedIn group page and let us know if you wanted us to talk about some more s'more. We can talk about s'mores. I don't care.
I don't like s'mores.
I'm not crazy.
I'm not a fan. I'm just nothing about them do I like.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make s'mores. I'm like,
it's
what a waste of calories.
And now we've only got a gas grill with the marbles, and Jane's always like, "Oh, let's go make s'mores." Not every night, but when people are over, let's go make s'mores. I'm like, s'mores got to have the smoke and the soot, everything coming up.
And then it's just so not fulfilling, and it's such a waste of calories. I'm like, you know what?
Big waste of calories.
Good I could do with those calories. Sorry, we digress.
Okay, here's my skill is the skill of checking in or reviewing. And so at the end of a meeting, I don't think we often do this, and I got to catch myself to do it more frequently. I'm getting a little better at it. And that is, hey, before we hang up today, I know we're out of time. Is it okay if I just review? I've got some notes here. Just review the 3 core things we've talked about, and then let's talk about next steps. Is that okay? So I think people are more likely to do next step thinking, calendaring something, if the review indicates and reminds them of how serious this problem is and how they need help with it. So I think it's always good, and I wouldn't be manipulative about it. I wouldn't say, you said, here were your exact words, sir. It's not that. It's just, we talked about 4 things today. We talked about number 1, your sales team, how you'd like to get them from 20% close to 60%. Number 2, we talked about this. Number 3, so just an overview. It just crystallizes the conversation, because sometimes conversations can go off track. They can go in wild places. You have to be the master of ceremonies here, the moderator, and say, okay, based on what we talked about, here are the 3 things. Here are the 5 things.
Love it. I love that. And I'm going to add to that a little bit. We talked about alarms earlier. The one time I think it is okay to set an alarm in a sales call is the 5-minute warning alarm. And I think you should do that. That way, no matter what, if you tell people, look, I set an alarm 5 minutes because I know how these things go, and wrapping up is really important. And so when it goes off, wherever we are is where we are. We'll recap next steps and set our next date and do exactly what you said, Bill. But gosh, you just say it. And people do not resist that. They love it, actually. It's like, that's great. That's nice and efficient.
And, some of you will hear that. And even when I hear it, the first thing I thought of is, gee, it's a little obsessive there, isn't it? But you want them to believe and conclude that they are with a pro.
Yes.
And amateurs don't do this stuff.
Correct.
Pros do this stuff. Yes. And if they're getting ready to buy something or give you a lot of money to solve a big problem, and you are a part of that solution, not where you're just shipping lamps, but you're a part of the solution, they want to be with a pro. Absolutely. And they want to feel like they're in good hands when you're in their presence. And this kind of stuff will really help them.
Yep. And you know what your competitors are doing? They're blah, 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 blah. Median's 11:30. It's 11:29, 30 seconds. And the prospect goes, hey, look, I got a hard stop 11:30. So thanks a bunch. Put some stuff together, shoot it over to us, and give me a shout next week. And the amateur, your competitor, goes, okay, this has been great, Bill. Thanks. See you. Bye.
Thanks, man. And then he goes back to his manager, goes, man, that was a great call.
Great call. Oh, my God.
You're going to get, I think we're going to do something. We're going to do something with those guys. I mean, they love it.
Send them a contract just to have, Yeah.
Okay. If you have not joined Insider, go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider. Our December session is a 90-minute business planning session. We're going to use AI in there. We're going to help you develop some skills for next year, just as we've been talking about here in the last couple episodes, but even more. And if you have not done your business plan for next year, join Insider. You can join it, and then you can quit after the business planning session. I'd love to have you stay into next year, but it's going to be a great session.
Everybody should do that listening to this podcast. Everybody should do that. Just to get that done alone is worth a year's worth of the tuition.
Because then you enter the holidays having a plan.
I know.
And you're not thinking about it you have a plan. In fact, you might even start working on it before the holidays, which we recommend.
100%.
All right. Make sure you go to LinkedIn. Also, give us a shout. Let us know what you think about these macro, micro skills. And if there's another category, micro, let us know. All right. See ya.